Good morning. Welcome again. Now let's move on to book exercises. Let's see what do we have here. We have the fill-ups first. Working with the poem, we have to complete these sentences, recall the poem and try to remember what the poem is trying to tell us and how we can fill up these blanks. Do not let a thought shrivel and die because English is a dash with words that everyone can play. One has to match dash. Words are like dash of thought. Now let's see the answers. Do not let a thought shrivel and die because you could not find a way to say it. For want of a way to say it. English is a wonderful game with words. One has to match the words to the brightest thoughts in the mind. And words are the food and dress of thought. So this was first part of the book exercises related to the poem, The Wonderful Words. It was fill-ups. Now what do we have here in the next one? See, this is the type of question or a kind of question you are doing for the first time. What we have to do here, let's read what it says. In groups of four, discuss the following lines and their meanings. Since we can't discuss it like that, so let me tell you what you have to do here. This is called reference to context. That means we have to refer to the context here, whatever context is there in the poem. Then we have to write the answers. And we are given stanzas here. First two lines are all that you do is match the words to the brightest thoughts in your head. So how we do this part, how we do this reference to context, what do we do here? First we have to, if we are dealing it in a formal way, what do we have to do? We have to see from which poem the lines have been taken and then write the name of the poet and the poem also. Like we can say, these lines have been taken from the poem The Wonderful Words composed by Mary O'Neill. See, this is how we write the answers to these kinds of questions. We give reference of the poem and then of the poet and then write a little bit of introduction what the poem is all about. This is how we do these questions. So it can be written as all that you do is match the words to the brightest thoughts in your head. So first of all we have to write from where these lines have been taken, from which poem, then who is the poet of this poem. This is how we do these exercises. But here in these slides I have just given you the meaning of these lines and I'll be sending you the PDF of the same questions in a proper manner where I'll be referring to the poet and the poem and a little bit about the poem also. So here what these lines mean, according to the poet, English is a wonderful language that everyone can speak. All that one needs to do is to put his or her brightest thoughts in appropriate words and then express their thoughts. So this is what these two lines mean, that all whatever, just to put your thoughts into words, what you have to do, just to express your thoughts, what you have to do, that you have to use words and match them properly, put them in proper order and then express them. Use appropriate words and then express those thoughts. This is what these two lines are telling us. Now in the next lines we have, for many of the loveliest things have never yet been said. What do these lines mean? Because it is again imposing us or imploring us, yes, and insisting on this, that you do not keep your thoughts in your mind, don't keep them imprisoned in your mind, express them, because there are so many beautiful thoughts which have not yet been said. Next is, and everyone is longing today to hear some fresh and beautiful thing. Yes, we have got so many thoughts, we have got so many quotes by so many people, but they have become old now. We want to hear something new. But only words can free a thought from its prison behind your eyes. So don't keep your thoughts trapped in your mind. Say them, express them, because words are the only things which can set them free from the prison. The prison is your mind. Words are the only things which can set your thoughts free. So this was all about this. Now the proper explanation of these lines is, first one goes like this: for many of the loveliest things have never yet been said. We all have lovely thoughts in our minds, and many times people do not know how to express it. The best way to express the thoughts is to put them in words. As loveliest and sweetest things might never have been said, and they have been in the minds only. So one must not let his thoughts die and bring them forward, as they could turn out to be one of the loveliest things not yet spoken. The next is, and everyone is longing today to hear some fresh and beautiful thing. Youngsters are the synonym of freshness and beauty because of their unexpressed and beautiful thoughts, which everyone wants to hear. Everybody wants to hear something new and different rather than same repeated words. And lastly, but only words can free your thought from its prison behind your eyes. Prison behind the eyes refers to the brain, which contains so many beautiful thoughts which need to be set free to come out of our brains. These thoughts should not just die in brain because of lack of ways to express it. They should come out and get expressed in the form of words. So this is what these lines are telling us. But like I told you, I have just given you the meaning of these lines here. We have to write these answers in proper manner, referring to the poem and the poet, and a little bit of introduction before we write these answers. So that I'll be sending you separately in a PDF form. So that was all about the poem. I hope you have understood it, and I hope you have got motivated. I hope what if you have beautiful thoughts, you will not keep them trapped in your mind, you will not keep them imprisoned to your mind. Even if you think that it is not a good thought, still you just express it, note it down somewhere. Then some, if you think you can always express it in a better way, so note it down first. Whenever a thought comes to your mind, whenever some good idea comes to your mind, note it down, write it, keep a separate notebook for that, write it in that notebook or your diary, and then ponder over it, think about it, see if you can put it in a better way, if you can use better words to express it, to make it more attractive, to make it well groomed and well fed, well, beautifully and attractively put together those words. So note down those thoughts, use beautiful words to express them, and then pass them on to others. So I think this poem is a good motivational poem for people who are good thinkers, who think in different ways, who have got good ideas, but they just don't put them in words. So if you have got those ideas, please put them in words, express yourself. Maybe there is a beautiful surprise waiting for us. So that was all for today. Thank you so much, and express your thoughts, express your beautiful thoughts, and good luck to you.